this. Cool things happen when you start the day with Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. So cool, they're hot, so hot. The hot taste of real fruit filling inside and cool frosting on the outside. Real hot, 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 hot. The cool, hot part of this complete breakfast. So cool, they're hot, so hot.
Thank you.
Hi, Trish.
Todd's working here.
Don't remind me.
Can he make it a whole shift without Duracell batteries?
I made these special just for...
Guess not. The copper top tops them all. Hey, yo, check this out. What do you do when you're offering drugs?
Beat it!
Drug free's the way to be.
Attention Pokemon fans, get ready for Pokemon Live at the Fox Theater. Now you can be there as all your favorite characters come to life in this on-stage musical adventure. It's the only place to see a brand new Pokemon with amazing powers. You can meet Brock, Misty, Ash, and of course Pikachu as the action hits the stage at the Fox Theater. Wanna catch 'em all? Gotta catch it live.
Magic potty baby, your bottle's all done. At potty training time will be so much fun. I help you with your training pants, you make me so proud. Your potty feels like magic, then it flushes out loud.
It's fun to help Magic Potty Baby learn to use her potty. Flush and you're ready for next time.
Magic potty baby, I'm so glad that you're mine.
Sound up! Sound up! XP90 Pulse Fire! Hear the sound of the Super Soaker XP90 Pulse Fire with pulsating action that delivers satisfaction! Or switch to a constant stream. Cool, clear color bottle too. Sound up! Sound up! I can't hear you! XP90 Pulse Fire! Super Soaker XP90 Pulse Fire! Where is better?
If you were a goldfish, you'd swim around a bowl eating soggy fish flakes. You don't like fish flakes tough. You don't get a choice. But you do because you're a kid, so you can go to Burger King. No mustard? No problem. You don't like choices? Be a goldfish. You want it your way? You can go to Burger King.
Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show.
Hey, everybody! I'm done trick-or-treating, and now I'm gonna go for a stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut. Yay!
Not yet, Pizza Head. There's one more place to go.
I don't think anyone's home.
Sure there is.
Oh, trick-or-treat! Interesting hieroglyphics on this pizza.
Quick, Pizza Head, let's go upstairs.
Hey, who lives here anyway?
It's your host, Count Steve.
Oh, nice place. You gotta... I wanna go to Pizza Hut now!
The Count will be happy to give you a lift.
Oh, hey, put me down! Put me down!
See you next time.
Ooh.
Big stick for that bigger lick.
Bird brain!
Hot zone.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos fresh. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life. Mentos, the fresh maker.
All natural Capri Sun. Liquid cool. New.
Yo, put a label on it. With the labels on, pick a color, pick a face, or a flower, or a place. Make a card, make it cool. Labels on your stuff for school. Yo, 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 put a label on it. With the labels on.
You know what they say, label it or lose it. With the Casio labels on, you can label all your stuff in all kinds of fun ways.
Yo, put a label on it. With the labels on.
Available at Venture from Casio.
What's hot? What's not?
What's hot?
What's not?
What's hot? Instant Quaker oatmeal.
What's not?
All these cold cereals.
What's hot?
You are steaming strong, powered up.
What's hot?
Living hot, playing hot. With this complete breakfast.
What's hot?
Shouldn't make noise on the bus. Yeah, if you didn't have rules, someone could get hurt.
It's very cool to follow the rules.
What'd you get? Here's Rosie. What'd you get? I got the big bowl clip. What'd you get? I don't know. Signed again.
The Kids' Choice Awards toys. One with every tasty Kids Club meal you buy. Only at Burger King.
Taste rules.
There I was with Bunny, mixing up some quick. When magically we were in the laboratory of the mad Dr. Foolish, who was turning the world's chocolate to Brussels sprouts. We have to stop him.
I'll distract him with some quick.
And I'll unclog his machine.
Chocolatey quick? Ah, chocolatey quick.
Ah, my machine!
Sure pulled the plug on this one.
Katie, lights out already?
Almost.
Check out the cheese in this new ranch dressing. New super cheese ranch dressing. What's it taste like, dude? And there's taco ranch dressing. Remind you of anything?
Arriba!
Perfect piece. Almost any effort is well worth it.
Eggo waffles, the part of a good breakfast that's too good to let go.
Hey! Lego my ego!
Did he say Lego?
Yo, you want to play some baseball? No, thanks. I'm gonna chill. Dude, want to do some rock and roll tonight? Nah, I'm just gonna hang. Hey, man, want to do some skateboarding at the mall? Nah, I'm not into it.
You thought smoking pot would take you places you'd never been. So how come you're going nowhere?
Come on, let's go. I need breakfast. And don't shut the... My Kellogg's Corn Pops. My keys. They're locked in. Stay calm. Smooth move.
Maybe we could call for help.
Yeah, sure. Help! I want my Corn Pops. Oh, like sweet popcorn, I could be having them now. But thanks to the little dweeb bet, I'm locked out. My pops are locked in, and what am I gonna do? I was gonna do...
Hey, kid!
Uncle Freddy!
Want some baseball tickets?
Yeah!
Don't we all? Hey, like that Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treat cereal, huh?
Mm-hmm. I bet you can't stop after one bite.
Okay, that's enough of the cringy commercials. Holy shit. So holy shit. That's been my latest thing, is like just going back and finding all this stuff from like the 90s that doesn't age well at all. Like, I remember the ITT Tech commercials, and like later, like I was maybe 13 or 14 when those Everest University commercials came out, and you would kind of see the fine print at the bottom of the screen, but it didn't really hit you what it was being a for-profit university, like how bad it was. Oh my god. So but yeah, like the cereal commercials, the like random like kid oriented commercials, like, I mean, I guess it's just I don't watch them now, but I'm imagining they're still pretty cringe. Like they're still just out of touch. Like they're trying to be hip and cool and like use buzzwords and shit, but it all comes off so awkwardly. Like, what do commercials look like now? Cringe commercials 2020. Let's take it back to 2020. Let's at least see what was popping then. Oh, okay. Well, 10 funniest Super Bowl no, Super Bowl commercials aren't funny. Not anymore. Cringe. Yeah, no, it's these are, yeah, like you can't count.
Congratulations on your new Dixon City Hyundai.
You can't count these because these are like local ones. All right, so this is 2020. This is a 2020 commercial. Oh, all right. So, okay. So they tried. They tried. Oh God. What? You can't even. You can't even make fun of this girl like already. I. All right. Just by the East Hills shop. East Hills. All right. Let's see what East Hills is. EastHills.com. Wait. East Hills Mall? One of these search options. Yeah, these are I think this is the one with the really bad, like everyone that like had a shop in the mall participated in the commercial. And it went fucking viral. I fucking remember that. Okay, yeah, but these, that's different. I'm talking like that Casio commercial was like, yo, 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 put a label on it. It's like, what? Why would you want to just give kids a label maker? Like, do you not know children? You know what they're gonna do. You know exactly what they're gonna do. All right, so yeah, no, let's give her a break. Yeah, this is fun. So I found this randomly by searching because the GTR, it's a sexy car. It really is. Like, it's, you know, it's not an R34 Skyline, but honestly, that is, you know, a more modern looking one. It's really not bad. R34 Skyline GTR V-Spec tuner. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so this car was in Gran Turismo 3, I think. Once you got a hold of this thing, you could farm races for cash because you were probably going to win. Like, this car, it's amazing. It's an icon. I absolutely, this blue too. Oh my God, if I could get a hold of one. You know, it's just everybody needs a little bit of something to complete their lives. I just need $65,000 to import, you know, an R34 V-Spec 2 NER. There's not too many of them. They're, you know, they're kind of cool. I believe there's a cop, or not cop car, police car. Yes. So whoever this officer is that gets to drive around in this thing, come on, man. That's kind of cool. It's pretty cool. What is this shit here though? I don't get it. They even had an old one. But yeah, what are those for? It's not a spoiler. What the hell is it? Is it a light bar? No. Oh, it's okay. That's a little extra secondary screen on the hood. That's kind of cool. Such a weird spot for it though. But anyway, yeah, so this thing is insane. But this one, this guy Terry. So when you drive one of these, when you're using the launch control, I mean, it's, you know, the computer and everything, you know, it's tuned a certain way, so it's going to perform a certain way. But, you know, especially this, like, there's a reason why race cars and, you know, people who are competing, like, they tend to let their engines run X amount of time to allow oil to get heated, to get everything lubricated, to get everything warmed up so that it's a nice universal temperature. You know, that's what it's meant to run at. This motherfucker does it cold, and it's pretty bad. So yeah, so he just started, I think he just started it up, like, you know, a few seconds ago. He's just coasting at this point. He's look at everything. He destroyed his fucking gearbox. He turned it into shredded cheese. Like, that's just pieces of a gearbox. That's not good. I mean, yeah. In front of everybody too. They're just picking up pieces of his car. Like, whoa, what could this be? Yeah, what just happened? And he fucking, what an idiot! Like, and it's a I think it's a performance tuned or like yeah, it's a tuned one. I mean, so it's, oh my god, the amount of money, it just vanished into thin air. He just peed out probably what, $25,000 onto the pavement. Like his car just shit itself. Yeah, that's not good. This is hilarious too. This dude was drunk, driving a McLaren, and they fucking, I believe, marked control well above. So the patrol car, I believe, I don't know if they say it in this one. It was Dwayne Sherwood Pope. So Alpharetta, McLaren, Chase. So there's another article that, you know, the McLaren, I mean, that he was driving, yeah, I mean, 155 miles an hour. Was it this one? Pace the vehicle. They don't say, yeah, they don't say. One of the articles explained what the patrol car was, and I believe it was an Impala patrol car. I believe it was a turbocharged or maybe a supercharged V6. You know, whatever Interceptor modifications they put into that car. I mean, that's, you know, it's not a 720. Yeah, here it is, 720S. So 720S. Yeah, I mean, look at that stupid thing. What the fuck? Just so fast, and he's driving drunk like an idiot. Officer tailed for 5 miles. Like, the officer just was barely able to keep the car in view, and finally this guy probably noticed that. He was like, the cops aren't giving up, I might as well just pull over. So she asks him, oh, it's 32 minutes now. And I don't know if maybe it was the video that said it, but yeah, she's, you know, pushing. Does it have any text on the video? No, doesn't look like it. Yeah, and okay, yeah, so she finally, I think she asked him, one of the first questions, she's like, why didn't you stop? He's like, I didn't know you were there. She's like, you didn't see me with my lights and my siren? He's like, no. I don't know if it was on purpose. Like, I probably could dig into the trial and see what his lawyer said, you know, because it was just a DUI, but it was reckless driving. But according to, yeah, pulled a dumb move. Yeah. Damn it. One of the articles says it. Top speed, maybe this one. Dodge oh, okay, so she had a Charger, police spec, top speed rating of 155. As told the dash cam video wait, no, that wasn't, it was the same story. One of the other ones said it was she was driving an Impala, not a standard issue Charger. She had something different. Because the Charger has a fucking massive engine too. Like, you know, it's fairly powerful. But 155, a 720S can probably, yeah, it goes so much higher. Because it's just designed for speed. So the fact that they were able to even keep him, you know, in sight is just enough to, you know. These people with these cars, man, they get out on the roads and they do not give a fuck. I'm trying to find. So I don't know, man. There was a commercial. Yes. 2007? National Security, Bender and Bender SSD.
Why'd you have to?
So
Nice guy, funny guy, but no one was surprised when he got hurt. Anthony lives in Alaska. We don't have an office anywhere near Alaska. But we made the promise.
We'll deal with the government. You have enough to worry about.
So we sent one of our advocates to
That
Alaska
dude's-
to win his Social Security disability case.
Oh my
no matter
God.
where you are, call us when you need your Social Security disability benefits. 1-800-66.
Yeah, and they want a piece of that because you're usually subject to you're usually eligible for some like penalties and things like that where they're able to get a lot out of it. So when he shows up on frame with the cowboy hat, it's so great. Like, I think he just I think this was the first one, and then from then on he always wore that hat. But it just doesn't go with the green screen New York, stock photo of the Empire State Building that's behind him. Are they still around? It's like this, what was it, James Sokolov? That was the other one. And now we have Morgan and Morgan. I don't know if they're nationwide yet. Is Bender and Bender... All right, I'm going to type it into Google. Is Bender and Bender still in business? The internet wants to know. Bender and Bender winding down after bankruptcy. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? That's so fucking funny. Lay off 190 employees. 2017. They only made it 10 years, man. 10 years after this iconic commercial. They fucking went down the drain. That's so fucking funny. That commercial will live on forever, though. There was a kid.
You have enough to worry about.
So we sent one of our advocates to Alaska to win his Social Security disability case.
Did you send one of your associates to Alaska? Yeah.
When you need your Social Security disability benefits. 1-800-66-BIN.
That's like was it J.G. Wentworth? J.G. Wentworth. Boy band? What? I don't even remember the what? No. No, is this real? Okay, so JG Boys. JG Wentworth shot at the spot. What the fuck is no? Okay, what the hell? I remember the bus opera. Oh, fuck. Okay, so that's kind of, whatever. It's just driving it into your fucking brain. Hey, do I need cash now? I better call JG Wentworth 877 cash now. Hey, you're like a fucking, you just recite it back like a robot. JG Wentworth boy band though? What? Oh snap, my DoorDash is on its way. I decided I need a frozen coffee at fucking 9:30 at night. So I'm making some poor driver go. It's about I would say 2 miles, but it's a nice 2 miles. It's through rich people areas. Like, I don't live in the rich people areas, but I live right next door, so it kind of looks like I do. But yeah, they have a boy band apparently. Shot at the spot? What the fuck? What is this nonsense? people not get? Everybody thinks it's for real. All those commercials are over the top and silly, aimed at a certain demo. What's this? What? What are these? What are these comments? Does anybody feel this lead singer is a real pop artist? I have an annuity, but I need cash. That's my part right there. what are these people? Are these people in it? Are they in on it? I'm rolling the I mean, this is kind of, it's kind of funny. The wet shirts. This dude's hungry for the camera. Look at him. He's so I feel like he's looking through me. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god, that's good stuff, man. That is so fucking funny. I don't know why I find the JG Wentworth ads so funny. It's because I looked into it and it was like, do I have an annuity? No? Okay, I never need to do business with them, but I need to know what they're about. But you would see these, oops. Here we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is this? Oh my god.
Look at this.
Almost any effort is well.
Gonna chill. Dude, wanna do some rock and roll tonight? Nah, I'm just gonna hang.
Hey man, wanna do some skateboarding at the mall?
Is this a fucking horror movie? What the what?
You thought smoking pot would take you places you'd never been.
The drug commercials. So he fucking smoked a joint and he's blazed off his ass. Who gives a shit? Let him fucking come down in 30 minutes and then he'll play the guitar, ride skateboard, and all that great shit. What the fuck? What the fuck, man?
Help! I want my corn pops. Oh, like sweet popcorn, I could be having them now. But thanks to the little dweeb bet, I'm locked out. My pops are locked.
No, where? Oh, there we go. JG Wentworth. There's the Burger King commercials, the King. Why was he so terrifying? For real. That shit hit just his fucking dead face. Like, Burger King. Face. Whatever. We'll just do an image. Look that when he was, was that a real commercial when he would like show up in like people's houses at like middle of the night and they just come to where and he's just standing out the hallway or some crazy shit? And or was that I think that was a bit in a movie where it was him, but he caused the person to like panic and they fucking fell down the stairs and like broke their leg. And he's like, was it Robot Chicken that did that? I think it was, yeah. Because yeah, he would just, but it was just bizarre. Why would you ever shave? Why would you shave the fucking beard mustache? What the hell? This is how I want to be killed. I want to be killed by somebody with that face. Just that's the last thing I ever want to see before I leave this mortal coil. Oh, IDT Tech. Got any grads up in the house? Probably not. Because you probably dropped out after 2 semesters. Or you want nothing to do with them because I believe they were found to be a scam. What is mesothelioma? What is it caused from? Is it asbestos? I know it's a cancer. It's a lung thing, right? Mesothelial line. Okay, yeah, so it's the yeah, the asbestos fibers or whatever. Very rare. causes. Isn't clear. What? Oh, the fucking razor. My brother's watching. How many razors did you go through as a
This is
mailman?
my husband Ted. He stopped drinking soda and lost 12 pounds. I stopped drinking soda and I lost 1. He started eating salt. And
No. There was there was a commercial that was like, I think it was like an anti-domestic violence commercial, and it was so graphic. I don't remember it. It was definitely it was like either prime time, but I think it was more like on cable channels, but it was more later at night. It definitely wasn't around during prime time because it was pretty graphic. Anti-domestic violence commercial. No, 2015, no, it was in the 90s, I want to say. Graphic commercial. Yeah. 6 of the most black and blue Salvation Army dress meat. What? No, they're not. They're not showing it. Where the fuck? So it was really. It wasn't graphic in the way like you would see everything. It was unsettling because it was like it was basically the POV where the camera was looking at a kid on some stairs, and the kid is kind of looking, through the railing into what you assume would be the kitchen, and you can see, I think, some shadows moving. And you can hear the husband arguing with the wife, and it goes from 0 to 100 really fucking quick, and the kid's just watching, but you can hear violence happening, and fucking maybe because I'm an adult, and I was pretty young when it was on. Oh my god, my Google search history is fucking corrupted. Oh my god. It's so fucking bad. It goes from like funny, the East Hills Mall commercial and funny car stories to graphic anti-domestic violence commercial. I'm trying to trigger some, repressed memories or something. I don't know. But I don't know. It was one of those things, but somebody took it because the crux of the commercial was, it was the husband came home, and it was obviously late. It was dark. The kid was in pajamas already. The husband comes home and he's like, "Oh, pizza? I come home after a long day and my dinner is pizza." She's like, "Well, I didn't know where you were. You didn't call. I didn't know what to do." So, and he I think he grabs her because, she starts to get upset and loud, and then you hear things happening, and somebody I'm not laughing at domestic violence. I'm laughing at that it was just this commercial that just affected me so. What? Why am I not seeing this? Oh my god. That's even worse. I want to see this. My final moment. I want to see that. Oh god. But somebody took that commercial, and at the very end of it, like the guys, you can hear violence start happening, and it just said something about it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno's, or make tonight a DiGiorno's night. It was like, man, that's so fucking. But you know what? It took the edge off that commercial for me, because that is really unsettling. It was really bad. I wonder if there's a thing called for band commercials. Top 10 hilarious band commercial. No. Best band of all time. Banned commercials not for kids. The hell are these? Kim Kardashian's Carl's. Oh, a bunch of yeah, it's all Carl's Jr. shit. Like they would you know, they would play him during like one event. Like they would go on like usually a college football game, or you know, something on like Spike TV or something, because it's really insanely hot girls doing really provocative things with food. They're just like moaning and looking sensual at the camera as they take a big bite of a Carl's Jr. burger. Fucking anybody else wet? Holy shit. Carl's Jr. is the last thing I want to have and think about sex. You feel so just disgusting. Oh, DoorDash is almost here. Oh wait, did I miss call? There we go. Now, make sure we don't miss it. Arriving soon. Cool. But yeah, I don't... What are these? It's all Hardee's. Taco Bell Extremes. I don't know. That one, I can't find... And I can't find it anywhere. I've been looking for a while. You know, putting into Google the way that is, it's... No more. And it's all these. Yeah, it's all Super Bowl commercials because the NFL finally took a fucking stand. I mean, I don't. Oh, whatever. The NFL, they're so fucking. They lag so far behind the shit they need to worry about. Fucking. These guys dropping dead in their 60s from fucking brain damage or becoming complete fucking vegetables, and they're like, we don't know what happened to them. They spent all their money. They should have had money saved up. It's like, well, you know, you didn't pay them as much as you should have back in the day. Now, yeah, they can, you know, the big guy, you know, the big. Oh shit. There we go. But anyway, yeah. So I don't care about like the first one. What is? Whoops. It should work. Come on. I never have problems with DoorDash except late at night. Watch it for that phone to ring again. That was twice I had to buzz him in. I don't know what happened. Paris Hilton, Carl's Jr. No, yeah, I don't care. Who gives a shit about Paris Hilton anyway? Good God, man. Oh, wait. I was like, wait, that's a long ass commercial, but yeah, it's the fucking. $13? What a fucking steal. Angela, you are epic. Why do I want one? I want the giant head though. This is what I want. That. Where it looks like you're one of those like Donald Trump. But you're like one of those animatronics at like Chuck E. Cheese or what's a shitty amusement park? Like not like 2 tiers below Disney, like where you would be like some Midwest regional fucking carnival, you know, attraction. That's what you would look like. Or almost like a Christmas decoration, like one of the ones that like you shove a candle in there and it just fucking lights you up. That's pretty fire though. Oh, they took it away in 2011? Hiring their ad mascot, the King. I love how Burger King, McDonald's had to pivot so fucking hard to healthy food. Their healthy food sucks. it's almost as bad because it's just loaded up with preservatives and sodium and fucking all kinds of shit, like MSG and shit, artificial flavoring, and it's like, why can't you just make a fucking salad? Really, come on. Not everything could just be 3D printed with pink fucking sludge or whatever you want to use. I like how he kind of looks surprised. Like, if you kind of angle the face just right, he kind of looks, you know, a little taken aback by what he's seeing. The hell is this? What? I almost was gonna say, is that your safe word mask? My safe word now is Pepper King. I like that. Is my food here? John is approaching. But I buzzed him in. I buzzed him in twice. What happened? Zooming in. Enhance. Oh, he's right out front. He went to the wrong stairs though, it looks like. I love how I could just like micromanage my DoorDash drivers, being like, oh, they're 50 steps away. They're on the wrong stairs. Like, whatever. Oh, the John Cena prank call. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. God, I remember when that was first out. It was 7 years ago. Really? Shit, when I listened to it, it was already a year old. Wow. Speaking of John Cena, holy shit. So, I should really switch. Yeah, what the fuck? Whatever. 80s wrestling promos. This is always a fun game. I think, is it Coke or not? Promos on cocaine. Well, we know which one these are, but there's like there should be a new TikTok thing. New TikTok trend is the true or false. Like, are these wrestlers currently coked out in this promo? Yes or no? And then you just have you have the appropriate answer, and it's always yes. Look at 70 promos where they're fucking. Oh yeah, the Macho Man, like, where it was just it's just his inhaling before every word that he said. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, I mean, Roddy, yeah, all these mic guys. Fucking Dusty Rhodes should be in there. There's none with Ric Flair. Jesse Ventura, yeah. Macho Man, a lot of Macho Man. No, where the fuck is Rick? Oh, here we go. Oh, they're in alphabetical order? What? No, because that one's back in action, but what the oh, so there is no order. It's just he found a shit ton of them at once and put them all together. Yeah, Ric Flair. Oh my god. You could that just from that thumbnail. Can you not tell? He is so high. He can't stop fucking with his teeth. He keeps like he's just trying to get that coke loose. Feels so good. Oh my god, that's fucking funny. Hey, whatever. It was the 80s. I guess just different time back then. A lot of Macho Man, yeah. Well, and that's another organization, just like the NFL, man. You hear that, folks? It's the greatest moment of his life. He looks like it is. Is my food here? Come on, man. He's like right out front. Oh my god, I need that coffee. I'm gonna be like Ric Flair in a minute if I don't get that coffee. Is that Dusty Rhodes? Brain healing. Mr. Perfect, Bobby the Brain. Oh, yes. All right. 1989. God damn. Good old school wrestling. Fucking great shit. That's why I think we need to legalize cocaine, honestly. Marijuana and cocaine. I mean, wrestling would be 1,000 times better. Because I would be baked as fuck watching it, and these guys would be just coked out of their minds. It's just fucking greased up in front of thousands of people, just, you know, just going on a coke fucking ramble and just talking into a mic. It's great. A little bit of wrestling and then just more talking. It's so fucking good. That's another one, man. It's sad. You know, those guys, you can't do that for very long without your body just giving out on you. I think Dan Soder said it one time. I think he was on Opie and Anthony. He's like, you know, somebody come to you and be like, oh, you know, they would look at Ultimate Warrior and be like, oh, he died at 50 of heart failure. Wow, yeah, no shit. I wouldn't expect him to die of anything else. Okay, I am going to grab my coffee. I will be right back.
Got off the wires. When I close my eyes, disconnected and tired. I see and I know you keep asking me, flames and fire. I know you are done with me. It's just fired. It's just fire. I was wrong, but I made it right. And you came begging day and night. I don't wanna hit the bottom. Don't go out of your state of mind. I've been counting 1 to 10. I'll be back when you begin. With my music together again. I see, yeah, I see you go down. Yeah, I see you go down. I see, yeah, I see you go down. Yeah, I see you go down. And I know you keep asking me, flames and fire. I know you are done with me. It's just fired. I see you go down, yeah, I see you go down. I see you go down, yeah, I see you just fired. It's just fire. I know you keep asking me, flames and fire. I know you are done with me. It's just fired. I wanna see the light. See the light. I wanna see the light.
Okay, for that. And more. I mean, I guess if I can't play the fucking game, I can at least kind of pretend I'm there. Ashbringer. I think when I go back, if I go back, my paladin's gonna get a lot of attention. This sword, and honestly, man, that shitty fucking Warcraft movie, Rotten Tomatoes. What did Warcraft really make? Man, nice try, Rotten Tomatoes. You think I'm gonna follow for the fucking potato in the tailpipe? No, thank you. Keep my ad blocker on. Yeah, I mean, has visual thrills to spare, but they and director distinctive gifts are wasted on a sluggish and derivative adaptation of a best-selling game with little evident cinematic value. I agree. It didn't. He had so many opportunities. You didn't have to do. There's a lot of lore. All right, so I believe the movie is the first war. Yes, because they come through the dark portal. But I didn't like it. I was super hyped for it. I mean, I got the in-game items where you have, like, I think it's this sword and there's a cool looking shield, but man, so yeah, it was such a weird way to do it. Like, if they really wanted to do it, they could have set up, you know, a whole, you got a massive world that you can do a lot with. So WoW Forces Universe, I guess. Image, yeah. So you have these cosmic forces, right? You've got extreme opposites of each other, and everything is an opposite, you know, within these kind of, you know, these, how do you say it? These forces breed, you know, these types of forces, like, you know, fire and air, very chaotic, you know, they're very chaotic, versus, you know, water and earth, very still, very calm, very orderly, you know. But so you have the light and you have the shadow, and one can't exist without the other. So they are, and you know, early on it's like, what would you want to succeed? You would want light to win always, right? Well, without light or without darkness of any kind, this stuff just goes exponentially, you know, it throws any kind of balance out. So it's going to cause, you know, there's no death anymore. Life just will consume everything. And so this balance is maintained, and it's like, even in the game now, it's like, what are we really fighting? We've got, you know, this wow. I've already been sipping on my coffee. By the way, this little stream is brought to you by Wawa. Officially sponsored? No, not officially sponsored. Please don't strike this video. So, but this weapon is pretty cool, because this little thing here, this little hand, it's like a little, not an orb, but it was an artifact, and it was pure shadow. Well, there was actually, oh my god, they could have done a fucking movie about just this fucking sword, and it would have been a million times better than this fucking pile of shit. It was so disappointing. But yeah, you know, I would have loved to see, there was, okay, so in the beginning, after the war in the movie, I believe it's the first war, there's a guy, and he is Alexandros Mograine. He is a paladin, which means he is, when you think of like holy knights, he's kind of that fantasy version of it where he doesn't just swing a sword, he actually commands light as a weapon. And he found this artifact and he kept it, but it was pure shadow, and it would actually, I think he put his hand on it and it like singed his hand and caused like basically necrotic flesh on one of his hands. Excuse me. And no matter how hard they tried to heal him, it never went away. It wouldn't hurt, but it stayed like that forever. So it was, it's kind of like almost a manifestation of that force of shadow. See, already this is way more fucking interesting than the movie. So, okay, so he can't, so get way ahead of myself. So that was way in the past, right? Well, World of Warcraft takes place, it's like 20 something years later, I think, after this happened. I think it's like in terms of WoW years. I could be mistaken, and I don't feel like fact checking that, but I think it's 20 something. And so he still had that object, and he tried. So there's a dungeon in the game which basically takes you back into time. It's really a lot of fan service, and it takes you back into time to where he and a lot of these other people, priests and other paladins and wielders of light, they took this orb and they were able to cleanse it, and basically they just kept throwing light at it, and it would absorb the light. Well, finally it absorbed so much light, it switched. It stopped being shadow, and it became this holy light. It was just a manifestation of light at that point. So they were able to change it from darkness to light. They're a shared force. So he actually had, so it would have been just a misshapen chunk that was just glowing. So it was like a piece of uranium. So you need to do something with it, right? Well, he took it to the dwarves, and they were master craftsmen. They were actually able to turn it into this. So they built a sword around it to where this object, it seems to be floating there, but it's basically linked to this sword. But it's World of Warcraft, it's fantasy, it's magic, but the idea is that the sword acts as a conduit for this power to allow you to use it as its it's its own it's its own source of energy and power. So he used it, and it was called the Ashbringer, because what it would do is when it would glow like that, it was filled with holy energy. And so there was a lot of undead and shadowy entities that had come into the world because of another character who you could have made a whole movie about. And I mean, it would have been a huge success, I think, because they're easily accessible stories. So this guy, his story, I think, is more interesting than Arthas, but Arthas basically was the same type of person. He was a holy warrior, he was a paladin, and these undead were controlled by a sorcerer who was able to, he can't kill them directly, right? They're too powerful, they're too strong. So what he needs to do is find a way to get them, trap them some way, get them isolated. With Arthas, excuse me, they basically presented this insurmountable challenge to him, and he basically, little by little, he lost his humanity to where he was now striking down innocent people on the assumption that they had been infected already. He didn't know for sure, but he was like, no, that it's safer to just kill them. So it drove him to kind of this psychosis, and he was taken down. And these guys, when they succumb, so they're this vessel of light. Their connection to the light is so strong. When they turn into a shadow entity, they are incredibly powerful as it's like a light switch. It's hard. It's I almost said that. it's one extreme to another. So that is always a cool dynamic to have in, this is probably super loud, in like a movie, is to have a character like Star Wars kind of did it, but George Lucas is a fucking, I think he was too worried about making toys, so his movies just were kind of extended commercials. That's really what he was using them for. So the Anakin story got really fucked up because in the old trilogy, it was set up as this, oh, he was a great and powerful Jedi Knight. We had a close relationship, him and Obi-Wan. And when he fell, it hurt me, greatly, because I didn't, it wasn't just a comrade in arms. It was a friend. It was, there was kind of like a brotherly love. So when he had the prequels, he could have done any number of things. And he came up with like bacteria. Your mitochondria fucking have the Force in them. So it's like those, what is it? I don't know. They're probably not going to come at me. I don't have a huge enough audience. I don't have any audience. But the Scientologists, they're was it Thetans? Isn't it Thetans? Whatever. But yeah, they're the same way. Whatever. It's whatever you want to believe. So anyway, back to my story about this guy. So he was very powerful. I believe he was considered more powerful than Arthas originally, when Arthas took whoops. So anyway, Arthas, his downfall was similar to like the Anakin Skywalker. It was the Darth Vader type thing where he was seduced by the darkness, where he was drawn to it and basically became blind to what was happening, to where it was, he believed that by taking up this sword he could win, but in reality it was take up the sword because the only way to win is to just join them. So it was, that was, you would essentially still win, but it would be a personal victory. So anyway, he had this incredibly powerful weapon, right? And so he had two sons. He had an older son, Renault, who was, going to follow in his father's footsteps. I mean, he was groomed from early on to be a leader, to be a very, talented, they had high hopes for him. So he was, on kind of the same path as his father, but he had a younger brother and, his younger son, Darian, who, and I love that they gave, each character has a lot of weight to it. So Darian, has his own great story as well. And he's still in the game today, and he's a very, in his, even with this guy being such a, mythical figure in the game's lore, his son is, if not more important, I guess, more key to, more central to it. Again, way more interesting than this fucking shit. So whatever. But anyway, so with this, he was killing, zombies and undead, by the thousands. I mean, he would just, swing it. And there's actually an ability in the game for paladins called Wake of Ash, and it's just this sweep where you just you burn everything in front of you with holy energy, and that's what he did. So the undead sorcerer, Kel'Thuzad, needed to get him, and actually, so it goes way deeper. All right, so there was a demon. It's a lot of weird shit. All right, so you have the undead, right? And they're kind of, it's a stalemate again, because it's light, or it's it's life and healing and holiness versus shadow and death. They're always going to basically match each other. You might have a little bit of give and take here and there, but one can't exist without the other. So they're always bound to conflict, but they're always bound to just be in constant conflict. So maybe, will push the undead back to a certain point, but then, you know, by just the laws of nature, it would come back and swing in their favor somehow. Something would happen, some event would happen, you know, whatever. But his younger son almost died in childbirth, and his mother passed away. So he, you know, Darian was, he got lucky. I mean, he was able to just eke out his you know, meager existence early on. So his father, of course, showed favoritism to him. So there was already that rift with his older son. And you could have done that with Darth Vader as well. Luke and Leia team up or whatever, or, you know, Luke is the favorite, so it causes conflict with them. So one of them joins Darth Vader, joins the dark side. So you have this really dysfunctional family shit, and they need to, you know, work some shit out, and they do it with lightsabers. That would have been cool. And that's another one of those what if things. And it's like, what if George Lucas had, you know, didn't dick around with, you know, these scripts and punt, you know, type. He was like, I don't know, it was like he was a sophomore in college, turning everything in like the day of. Like, he would literally stay up till 7 a.m, pound a Red Bull, go to his fucking, you know, his office, and fucking give people like the script and be like, yeah, here's the script. They're like, well, George, there's coffee stains all over it, and it's like, there's like mistyped words everywhere. He's like, yeah, you know, I kind of had to tighten it up at the end there. And they're like, well, George, it's only 17 pages long. He's like, well, yeah, we'll fill it in as we go. This is more of just an outline. It's like, so it's not a script, it's an outline. It's you wrote a storyboard. That's what you did. But anyway, so this guy, and he's in the game now, which I like, because, and they're doing that with the new expansion. It's allowing us a lot of fan service, because there's a lot of dead characters that we're meeting on the other side, like in the, you know, in the afterlife. We get to go and we get to see these people. So they devised a plan, and they corrupted his eldest son, Renault, to lure his father to a place where they would have an ambush set for him. And because it was his son, he believed everything that, you know, he had his trust, so he went with him. And, you know, of course, it was in some secluded area. He couldn't make an escape or whatever. He had to just stand and fight. Well, you know, hundreds of undeads just started attacking him, and they just wear him down to the point where he's physically exhausted. Like, his, you know, he can barely hold his sword anymore. He's on his knees. Renault takes his sword, and finally he drops the sword. Once you hear, you know, that metal hit the ground, it would have probably rang out like a bell. His son, who had just been watching, you know, basically the whole time, probably pretending to be, you know, have his hands full or whatever, pretend like he's fighting, but he's, you know, just waiting for that opportunity. And the sword as soon as that sword hit the ground, he grabs it and stabs his father through the back. And he's, you know, they were able to really just twist his mind. And it's like, again, you could have done a lot of this stuff in a movie, and I think it would have been pretty accessible for people who don't even know WoW lore. That already is an interesting character, and his sons are interesting characters. Like, they have motivations, they have depth, they have real characteristics, like, that you can understand and kind of, you know, because some people may sympathize with Renault. You know, they may present the story. Yeah, obviously killing your father is kind of a far reach, but what if you were seeing it from his point of view, where he's been shunned? He was, you know, he was the eldest, but he was always kind of like a second caretaker to his son or to his brother. You know, he was basically like a nanny, you know, while their father was off being this great hero. You know, they're just trying to stay alive. And, you know, and this great, you know, because, you know, these guys, him and there's another guy named Tyrion Fordring, and they are these, you know, exemplary individuals, because they're wise, they're a lot like Jedi Masters in a way, where they're, you know, they're tempered, they think cool, they focus on the big picture. They see things, they use their intellect first, they try diplomacy, they try, and when it comes down to it, if they need to, I mean, they'll get down and dirty, but for the most part, they try to keep that power reserved, because they know it, using it too much, you kind of feed into that, your emotions too much, and you may, do something that is reckless or careless. And when he died, his sword turned to this. It became this corrupted version of itself. And this is actually him. So when he died, when he fell, the undead sorcerer just brought him back to life, turned him into an undead. And, and again, like I said, it's like all these movies that have great dynamics. It's like, you could have done something with the first war in the Warcraft movie with the orcs and the humans, and they tried to show us like orcs like humanity, where they weren't that, they had their own motivations and everything else. It was like, but it just fell flat because you didn't make it digestible enough. This should have been more like a Peter Jackson type production. I don't think they had they didn't have a budget for it. What was the budget for this thing? Warcraft movie budget. $160 million. Where did that money go? Will there be a Warcraft? No. No. Unfortunately, Warcraft 2 will not be released. No, fortunately. I don't want a sequel to this at all. It was really bad. The visual style was really good, because they that's really good looking animation, but by 2016, that's what they should have looked like. But you could have taken this story, and this is even the whole story, like, so when a paladin dies, they take with them a lot of power and the ability, their training and everything else, but like them as a person, if you can turn them into a weapon of evil and shadow, you could, that's kind of a big get. So you're going to take it. So they raise him as a Death Knight. And this is what his sword looks like. This is old school WoW, way back in the day, 2004, Nax came out in what, 2005, maybe 6. I don't remember. It might have been 2005. But anyway, you can actually get this sword to drop. So you would have to kill him. The fight alone, that's another. I could talk about that for hours. That fight was ridiculous. It was 4 of them. It was the 4 horsemen. And each horseman, this was insane. So you had to have, in a group of 40 people, generally in most of the other raids before, you would have maybe 3 tanks, maybe 4, somewhere around there, about 4 tanks overall. They had to be warrior tanks because of everything that they get. This fight was the only fight in the game that took 8. It didn't take 8. I think that you could get away with 6, but even then, 8 was a fail-safe way to do it. You had 8 tanks. It was a very specific setup. They had to have specific gear just to kill these guys. So this fight was basically a guild killer, because you needed tanks that had the best gear in the game up to this point. And so you would have guilds just siphoning tanks out of other guilds. It was bad. It was really bad. But anyway, you do the fight. You probably don't get it to drop the first time. It probably takes a few times, like most things did in that fucking game. And so you could actually get this version of the Ashbringer to drop. Now, it's a corrupted version, so it's not the same one that he used. It is his shadow version. We could get it in the game, but official lore, it was his son Darian that did it. So Darian, goes with you to I think in the lore, he goes in there, is able to clear his way by himself or with a small group of Scarlet Crusade, you know, people or paladins or whatever. And whoops. And he takes the sword. Now it's the corrupted version. He doesn't know how to cleanse it. And they're like, well, you know, we don't know either. Nobody really knows how to get it back the way it was. They're like, well, you can't throw light at it because it's a weapon at this point. You can't really. So they take it, and that other paladin says, you know, to get it back to where it was, it takes a sacrifice. It takes an act of pure love. And they're like, well, that's kind of subjective. Like, it means something different to everyone, but that's the idea, is that it would be Darian that had to do it, so he would have to know when the moment would be right, what he would have to do. But what's cool, and kind of with his going in his footsteps, so you get the sword, you go to where his older brother is, who is, you know, his older brother was the commander of a group of paladins in another cathedral. So you go, and with this sword in hand, it looks kind of like the Ashbringer, right? It looks a lot like this one. You know, it's the same basic shape. It's, you know, got a fancy paint job on it, and now it's got a cool little skull. But they let him pass, and he goes to his brother, and the sword was whispering to him, like his father's spirit is trapped in this sword. And it's, again, way more interesting than this shit. Like, so his son goes, and he has the, you know, the sword is telling him, go to this place, you know, find Renault. I need revenge. I need retribution. So in the game, if you had it equipped, and some people were lucky enough, they still have this. And if they do, they rock it. Whatever. Good on you. So, but it whispers to you. And if you turn up the ambience in the game, you can actually hear Asherbringer whispers. I mean, this would get annoying if I had this thing equipped. I would turn ambience all the way down. That's pretty dope. And so, you know, when this happened, you know, Darian still had the sword, and he killed, you know, his father basically emerged, a shadow, you know, a spirit form of his father emerged from the sword, killed his older brother, and was like, finally, yeah, I'm chill now. You know, his soul could finally find rest. Meanwhile, you've got this fucked up sword. Like, what do you do with it? And so, you know, and you could even, all right, so at that point you could, that could be the first setup in a, you know, in a series of movies leading up to a Wrath of the Lich King, you know, Lich King movie, where even if you never played the game, you never did the lore, you could still, with this, I think, could be the jumping off point to tie in Arthas, the Scourge, our role as adventurers. Like, they could put random adventurers in there and show us kind of helping, you know, these characters with the story, and, like, you know, these, you know, assaulting the forces of evil, and, you know, traveling to their, oh my god, somebody actually made one? No. Oh, it's like 3D modeled. Damn it. I thought somebody actually forged one. Like, there would be like small little wires, you know, holding that to the blade. That's cool though. That is really cool. I wonder what that is. Did he make it? Fan art. That's pretty cool too. Just gotta get that L right. But yeah, like, you know, you could use the first story of the Ashbringer itself as, you know, a setup in these movies, and I think it would do pretty well. Like, if they would have done something like that. Just all these little and that's why, you know, it's hard to divorce myself from WoW. Like, I want to play now because they've got a new patch coming out and they're, you know, really trying to push it, but like, you know, Blizzard's got to make things right, man. And until then, I can't in good conscience I can't play that game. Although I want to support the people that do, you know, work on it and you know, devote time to it and stuff, but that's a cool version of it too. That was the Legion skin. Yeah, Legion did some cool stuff because you could get your, you know, you would get the base version of your artifact, which for Paladins, it was this sword. You actually got the Ashbringer, and you could turn it into all these different versions, like another corrupted version, you know, these other enhanced versions. That's the shattered one, you know, where it's been fully powered up. You know, you do the final fight in the game, and it gives it that appearance where you've used so much power from this sword that it's now a shattered and broken, you know, version of itself. But you know, and that's a cool story. Like his story, and you know, and he comes back now as this, you know, he in the afterlife, he still has his own Ashbringer, and it's pretty cool. And it was cool to see him, and it was cool to, you know, see his kind of necrotic version of his Ashbringer, and that's what he's known as. So the sword and him are the same thing. He is the Ashbringer. The Ashbringer was his sword, but it was also him. Like, he's the reason it's called that. But this could be the movie, basically, you know, a much better high-res version of it. But, you know, just say Ashbringer. And you know, coming 2022, winter of 2022, Ashbringer. I'd be like, I'll buy a ticket. It couldn't be any worse than that fucking pile of shit. And you know, but to see what they do with the world, give Lordaeron the same type of treatment as the Tolkien stuff, because I'm willing to bet. I don't have any hard data, and I'm just talking out of my ass. But how many people watched Lord of the Rings, the movies, because they were, you know, they had to, like, you know, there was a lot of people that read the books, yes, and the books had been around for decades, but I'm willing to bet a shit ton of people went and saw them because they had always, you know, it was something that they should have read, but they never did. Good old Arthas. Yeah, that's sword. That could be part 2. It could be Frostmourne, could be the second movie in the series, and then, you know, you call the final one, I don't know, the Fall of the King, or King's Fall, or something like that, where it mirrors the storyline that we went through when we played the game back in, Jesus Christ, 2008, 2009, so long ago. But, you know, you could build up to this where, you know, his story is even more tragic because he kills his own father, and he is the corrupted one. So he is killed by his son, and he kills his father in that same kind of way. It's the exact same way. It's just an assassination. It's patricide. It's, you know, but it's done differently, where he is the one that loses his life at the hands of his son. He takes his father's life right there in front of everybody and just walks right up to him and just kills him. It's pretty brutal. But you could do, and that he could be, as a character, for someone who's never played the game or whatever, it would be easily digestible. It would be accessible. You could do a lot with it. It didn't have to be just, you know, and don't play it safe. Give it to someone who's gonna, you know, who obviously they need to know the lore, they need to have a passion for it, but someone who's gonna, you know, like, fuck, I mean, what if, not Quentin Tarantino would be doing all kinds of weird shit with it. Who could handle an epic like that? Maybe one of the Marvel guys? Maybe what's his name? J.J. Abrams. He might be able to do a good job with it. But you need somebody with a fantasy, you know, a real deep root in fantasy. And maybe J.J. Abrams has it. I don't know. So what did he do? Whoever did the Hobbit movies, keep them far away from this shit. Do not let them touch this. Anybody watching, this is my screenplay. I've already started it. Need to get a bunch of us together. We need to go to a Starbucks, use their Wi-Fi, browse BuzzFeed for no reason, and just shit out a script and a screenplay. And just try to pitch it to some studio and be like, hey, there was this massively popular game about 12 years ago. It's called World of Warcraft. They're like, wait, isn't that still around? Yeah, but we're going to be talking about old World of Warcraft. They're like, I don't get it. Get out of my office. Like, it's just not something they're in the mood for. That would suck. But I just think, like, you know, something as iconic as that, you know, obviously the WoW community would be into it. People who played old WoW would be into it, you know, more than likely. I mean, it's just, it's cool because anything with this crest, the Lordaeron crest, I always made my nipples hard. Royal Crest of Lordaeron. Yes. So there was this shield. That's a badass shield. It's very, very badass. It was... Jesus. Yeah, I forgot how good it was. It's really good. But it just looks so cool. I mean, it's, you know, but the fact that it has the two swords, so it kind of has that decorative feel to it, but it looks used. It looks, you know, it has some deformities, some scratches, you know, some imperfections and stuff. So it's not just to hang on the wall. Like it's hardy, and it's actually seen action. So, you know, that's kind of cool. But yeah, anything with that seal, I mean, it, you know, that sword kind of, you know, that whole age of Lordaeron, you know, being the human capital and stuff like that. It's obviously Tolkien inspired, you know, with the fantasy and the different races having their own kind of, you know, it's not centered around the humans, because there's a lot of other stories involving the elves and the trolls and like everything that, but the fact that they allowed, and see, Disney, but if a big studio gets their hands on something like this with the right, if Blizzard or Activision were to like, okay, let's give it to Sony, let's give the rights to, you know, all the movies to Sony would then be able to, you know, but they would probably try to strong arm with some, you know, creative control and being like, well, we want to be able to take the lore and do this with it. And they're like, you know, depending on how much they pay for it, you know, maybe Blizzard goes for it. They're like, yeah, sure, why not? Because they're just looking at dollar signs. And then it, you know, it ends up being a complete pile of shit. But I don't know, man, because I like the lore, but the game is so old at this point. I don't know how long it can keep going. But the world is big, and I like it. I mean, there's so much to it, and it's kind of like, I don't know, instead of Star Trek, I was kind of drawn to World of Warcraft and Warcraft in general, because I played the older games as well. And I mean, just his story arc alone, everyone, you know, as a character, you could build a whole, you know, a lot of content around them. Could be you know, just like with Marvel, you know, doing the Loki show. I mean, everybody from the Avengers basically got their own show. Like, so except for the core team, like Chris Evans is out, Robert Downey Jr. is out, fucking Chris Hemsworth's out. They're like, no, we're done. And yet everybody else is like, yeah, I'll keep going. I'll ride this train until I'm, you know, until I'm retired, and I don't have to work a single day ever for anything. And, you know, like, because Scarlett Johansson's still working, and, you know, Tom Holland, he just got into it. But like the Loki TV show is supposed to be pretty good. But, you know, Falcon and Winter Soldier. WandaVision was, you know, I watched a few recaps of WandaVision. I just don't want to pay for Disney Plus because it's not like, I just don't want to buy another. I don't want to be paying for another streaming service. I can't. I have too much on my plate already that I don't watch. I got Amazon. I think I have like the base version of Hulu, and then I have Netflix, which I haven't touched in weeks. Somebody showed a picture, and I believe, are we getting another Tiger King? Oh shit. Tiger King 2? Imminently. Oh my god. September of 2021. Yeah, Tiger King coming soon. Oh my god. What more? And I'm assuming it would be the most recent developments in the case, because didn't he... this is a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down, but yeah, didn't some... months of speculation of cameo of Tiger King 2 second season coming soon. Yeah, it's always... Wikipedia is always a good place to start. Subsequent media. Okay, so something was going on with his case. Was he... Oh my god. Yeah, because he's like... Joe Exotic, he's making like... this bitch, she has her own, like, yeah, it's not even just her husband, it's everything else with her fucking organization. Isn't she like able to like get some tax loopholes because she's a volunteer organization, or it's like unpaid volunteers, but she works them like she would staff, like, oh my god. But yeah, so we're getting a season 2. That'll be kind of cool. Oh my god. Yeah, I think that there's something with his case that criticism for I need... Yeah, there was something that, because we heard about it because it was, you know, she has her you know, her big cat rescue is in Tampa, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, good old Tampa. That's right, folks. Everything good happens in Tampa. Fucking her big cat rescue. Oh my god. But yeah, she's a whole fucking, she's a whole ball of crazy too. But yeah, his something, but we were seeing it on local news because it's right here. They're like, oh, something, you know, about Tampa, Carol Baskin, Tiger King, yeah, or, you know, that ties in with Tampa. And so they were reporting it, and something about his case, because either some evidence or something, there's some technicality that they're trying to appeal, I thought. Whatever. Ugh, get out of here. That's kind of a cool Cosmic Forces. I wonder if there's a poster for that. I kind of want it. All right, here we go. Going shopping. Cosmic Forces WoW poster. Shopping. Not seeing any. It's not good. That is not good. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Page 2 of Google. Do you have anything? Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Warcraft Magic? Shopping. No. Damn it. I want it. It's so cool. Because it's just, you know, it's got everything. So that's another... Because so far we've interacted, like in the game, we've interacted with Undead. We've interacted with the Burning Legion. And we've interacted with the Titans. And these two kind of canceled each other out. The Burning Legion was destroyed and the Titans basically went back to sleep. They just chill on a spaceship and they're like, all right, mortals, you know, we're out. Good luck to you. And so they've kind of removed themselves from this. Undead are still around, and this is, you know, we haven't really dealt with this yet, the Wild Gods, so that could be a future expansion as well. We've dealt with the Old Gods, we've dealt with the Naru, but no Void Lords yet. I think they're coming, but you know, there's no, we don't know what's beyond the Naru, because the Naru look like they, or maybe the Naru and the Void Lords are, so the Old Gods were below the Void Lords. What would be here? There should be something here. What would be there? Would be Elune, maybe? Something, you know, maybe something like her, like where she's kind of a deity of sorts, as far as they were, but whatever. That's, somebody color coded it. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I think I like this. It's pretty intricate. Images may be subject to copyright. By who? Blizzard? What is copyright? No, I know what copyright is. I wanted to learn more about who owns it. I don't want to have to go to WoW-Wiki for that shit. Somebody made it in this. Oh wait, is this the Hive Workshop? Oh, he's just anti-abstractism under Emerald Dream. So it's, yeah, it's the WoW Cosmic Forces, but it's I mean, I guess, yeah. Voidlands, that would be Shadowland. Wow, yeah. Some fucking funny shit. Jailer. Yeah, great character designs, but I don't know, man. I get why people were leaving the game for Final Fantasy XIV when Blizzard scandal, drunk cubicle crawl. Cube crawls, which male employees drink copious amounts of alcohol as they crawl their way. What? No. Male employees would also proudly arrive at work with hangovers, play video games for long periods of time during work while delegating their responsibilities to female employees, discuss sexual encounters, joke about rape. I mean, I am a strong supporter of freedom of speech, but when it is it's just in a professional environment. I mean, they have every right to say, hey, you shouldn't, you know, you if an employee has a problem with your speech, then, you know, things should happen. Yeah, this one's really bad. Inaccurate complaint. There was, but yeah, they were talking about but yeah, it's, and it makes sense. I mean, if this has been going on for how long, you know, Blizzard started as, you know, a bunch of guys who were super nerds. You know, and World of Warcraft was a last ditch effort. They were almost bankrupt when they made WoW. And that's good old Darian. Became a Death Knight himself. That's a story for another day. But yeah, pretty crazy. That armor. Yeah, it's Darien. Wow. He has corrupted Ashbringer. That's a cool look. Very, very cool. You know, but it shows in recent patches of WoW. I mean, there were things in the last expansion never got fixed ever. They just stayed in the game forever. I had an item that would, do splash damage around me. Well, the splash damage that would form from my item wasn't coded correctly. So I would splash through a wall or a fucking door, and anything on the other side would like immediately try to attack, and either the code would break and they would like try to go around, try to find a path to get to us. So they'd be running through some random hallway, and I could just imagine it. All of a sudden you hear like them get pissed off, and then you just hear footsteps taken off into the distance, and all of a sudden you hear more and more footsteps because they're grabbing everything on the way. When they get to us, it's this train of enemies that, because as they go by each other enemies join the fight, and they come barreling down the hallway at us. But it's shit like that never got fixed, and it should have, and it was complained about because people weren't using that item because it was, you would have to be aware of that. That would be, and again, a lot of people were like, well, that's working as intended. It's like, no, it's not. Stop excusing their lack of fucking finesse and polish because it's too hard. It's like, well, yeah, no, you're right. Coding a multi-million-dollar game that has millions of players that makes millions of dollars. I mean, if it's just too hard, just ignore it, just move on to bigger and better things. It's like, no, motherfuckers, fix that shit. Like, you have no reason to fucking, just sit on your ass like that. But again, they were, number one for so long. And now Final Fantasy 14, all these other games are getting a lot of players. Like, I'm looking for something else to play. I love the game. I love the stories. I love, the atmosphere and everything else. And I've got a lot of time put into it. So it's comfortable. I know a lot about it. I don't know. It may be time to find it because I've quit twice before, I guess you could call it. And this may be the final time. Maybe third time's the charm. Who knows? That's not bad. I mean, I'm not gonna say shit. I can't draw, but it looks like Homeboy like traced the face and then kind of just drew everything around it because like he has a problem with the feet. That's a problem. Yeah. It looks like a sock that's not on all the way and it's like dangling off. But yeah, I don't know. There's tons of these stories too. Like, I could go through them all. I mean, just with him and his sons, like that whole storyline and everyone that they interact with could be, its own thing. And it was just this, it was a side story among a bunch of others that, but if you put the spotlight on them, it's like everything is developed. All the characters are developed. Everybody has depth to them. And for him, spoiler alert, him and Darien in the newest, in the game, finally reunited. Like Darien gets to see his father again, and his father gets to, see what a great man his son has, become in his own right. Like, it's kind of touching. And I mean, that look at Darien in the game. I mean, he's crazy. He's his own, he's no longer, Alexander's Mograine's son. He's Darien. Like, he's the leader of his own army. He's not, he's not a kid anymore. And, but that's the payoff. That's good writing. Everything else involved in the fucking game, they didn't do their jobs. Like quality control, customer service, fucking HR, apparently. For key moments, I don't want to watch Asmongold react to some shit. July 27th. I need more. There has to be something more recent. Like, but it's all end of July when the shit really started to hit the fan. The fact that the CEO left, that should be a huge, that almost, to me, it would be if the CEO is willing to cut and run right when this shit breaks, I would automatically, he should be forced to give a deposition. You can't just, bail on your responsibilities, get a multi-million-dollar golden parachute, and then just be like, I don't know what happened. I don't work there anymore. Like, no, motherfucker, you want to leave? You got to give a deposition first. Like, if you didn't know anything, then you didn't know anything. But at the same time, you're getting paid to know shit. You're getting paid to be away. Like, you're the CEO. You are supposed to be guiding the company, and you should know everything that's happening. And it's your management staff below you that's supposed to inform you. And if they don't, just so that you can, sleep easy at night, or, do this shit and just fucking dip out when the, it gets too hot. Like, that should be a huge sign to, any judge or DA or, any legal entity that has this kind of, jurisdiction of this case. I think that should say when people try to leave the company and sever ties, I wouldn't feel comfortable letting them go. Like, I would, that the company structure should, but again, it's like, government overreach and all this, that, and the other. But at the same time, a girl killed herself, because she, just the degrading fucking environment here. And the fact that even when she goes to someone for help, they don't do what they're supposed to do, and nothing gets solved. And it, basically it's just like, well, just ignore it, or, and he that would eat anybody up inside. If something like that happened to you and somebody did something that took away your humanity and nothing happened to them at all, on a professional level, on a personal level, people laughed it off, people, ignored it, and it went away. And meanwhile, you're sitting there like, what? So there's no justice in this world. Like, you did the right thing. You spoke to someone who's supposed to expedite this to your, it's supposed to kind of get some kind of resolution. And instead, oh, well, he's your superior and there's really no proof, blah, blah, blah. It's like, the CEO, whatever the fuck his name was, I mean, I don't really know any of the management people, because these aren't even the same people. They're these these money guys that they bring in to lead these companies, where they're like, because you have investors now, and your goal as a game company isn't to satisfy your customers, it's to satisfy the investors. So you're just using your customers as proof positive that, hey, we know what we're doing, and give us more money, and we can really get more people on board and more people addicted. And once that happens, but it's like that with everything. I mean, for the most part, when a company goes public, it's no longer this, doing it for the art and passion, and we really love our gaming community. It's give us money. We have Cash Shop, special limited time offer. Pay now. But you're already paying? Well, pay more. And pay it, and actually, just to make sure, we're going to give you a deal. So if you pay us for time that you haven't even spent in the game yet, we'll give you a little golden, we'll give you some pixels to have in the game. Make a shape, make a color. And it's like, you just dangle the shiny shit in front of people. But 15 years is a long time. Shit. At this point, no, 2004, so 17 years. Jesus fucking Christ. This game is still hanging on. But that's the power of what they crafted. God, these pictures too. I believe that's Auchindoun, which was a holy city, and it was just destroyed by Nerzul, I believe. It was just trying to harvest the, because it was like a temple and it was like a burial ground, and when it was corrupted like that, it was to power, I believe it was to power another portal or some kind. I mean, so you know, it just destroyed it. I mean, it, you know, and it was kind of cool to see that in the game as well. Like they take these environments that, you know, it looks one way in the original version of the game or whatever that it appeared in, and then later on they kind of do like a redux and they revisit it, but they twist it so that it looks, you know, corrupted, or it looks destroyed, or what was once destroyed is now whole and beautiful, and you know, it's like nothing ever happened. And it's kind of a, you know, it's kind of a mind fuck, because you've seen it one way and then you've seen it visually, you've always imagined it. It's like, oh, what it would look like if, you know, this place hadn't been destroyed and burned to the ground. We could see, you know, because you might have seen concept art or maybe saw it in a cutscene or something, and then they show it to you and actually you can go in it and explore and see it as it, you know, as it was, like as you imagined it. And you, I don't know, it's kind of a cool experience. But again, get this shit fucking cleared up, like make it right, because Riot Games hasn't done shit either. They were, what was that, 2-3 years ago? They're still dragging their fucking feet. They had the same shit, sexual harassment and unprofessional conduct, and making, you know, having an uncomfortable work environment. Not to mention the fucking game. That's League of Legends. And that game, I mean, World of Warcraft, every game has toxic people in it, but Jesus Christ, man. I played a couple of times, and the minute you start playing ranked matches, oof, people are so quick to, you know, really get personal with you. Like, it's like, these people, it's so bad. All right, actually, I want to see, all right, so to kind of end on a happy note, I want to see, damn it, can't find a Cosmic Forces poster, I'm so sad. All right, so there was, back in the day, LAN parties were a thing. LAN party, PC, destroyed. So there was a video a long time ago, and it was, LAN party cheater PC destroyed. And it was, yes, all right, it's 12 years ago. This, I mean, that's just happened, like, yeah, I believe this was it. So I believe it's been debunked. This isn't real. Because, I mean, it was posted in 2009, but I remember seeing this in 2000, maybe 3 or 4. Because I went to my first LAN party in 2005, and I think I'd been playing with those people for about a year. So maybe 2004, and it was, you know, I believe it had been old then. Lantrosity. Can't really see it. I think it's this kid here. Oh. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you can hear it in their voices. A cheater. Like, we gotta, what the hell, man? And they pick him up. Leap machine, $2,000, which could be. I mean, this is. Actually, I'm gonna look this up. Lantrosity. Atrocity cheater. Okay, so. Alright, did they throw it? Did they throw it already? Okay, yeah, they hadn't done it yet. Whoops. Well, spoiler alert. They throw him and his computer out. No, and the CRT. And these dudes are just chilling. You can, I think, even with the grainy video, you could see him smiling and kind of like playing along. I always thought that was real. Because I'm a fucking idiot. And I believe Lantrosity, trademark of Lantrosity, computer hardware and software for gaming infrastructure, trademark, Lantrosity Inc. But yeah, well, that video was uploaded in 2009, but an even older one, 2006. Was YouTube even a thing back then? 2006. I didn't start using YouTube until like 09. No, maybe 08. Fuck, I don't remember. Might have been earlier than that. Lantrosity discovers a cheater. All right, so it's on Reddit. Fake as fuck. Yeah, it was a promo vid for the Million Man LAN events. Yeah, that's right. Whoops. And now LAN War, the forums is... Yep. Resource you are looking for has been removed. Its name been changed or the temporarily... Yep, 404. Yeah, LAN War is not a thing anymore. Upcoming event? Schedule. Million Man LAN 21 is a go. Million Man 21 is all aboard the hype train. Setup starts 1 p.m. on Thursday. But when the fuck? 8, 9, 21. Oh, so it's already passed. Jesus Christ, these people. How are you going to get 1 million people if you're going to use old school fucking forums? There's only a couple of, so yeah, it's super fake. And which, I mean, you can tell just in the video, but in no way is this justice. And somebody was like, in no way is this justice porn. Because justice porn's some good shit. If you ever need, life's getting you down, the COVID news, the political divide, the really bad stuff happening in like Texas and even in my state, Florida, some really scary shit. But at the same time, there's a lot of reasonable people out there. I'm not worried. I mean, there's a lot of morons who are in positions of power, but they're firing themselves basically. So they'll get their justice. But justice porn on Reddit, just go r/justice porn, and it's just good people stepping up, being just being heroes, like dishing out street justice. Like the racist Karen gets slapped in the face. People, white people shutting down, racists, black people, anybody, any minority, and even white people. If you're seeing shit happen, bust out that camera phone, just fucking record it and put it on Live Leak. It'll, people will identify these people in within a day. These people are like, oh, such and such, such Karen in this grocery store has been fired from her job. And it's like, fuck yeah. News travels fast. Stop being ridiculous. Like, just be a decent human being. But anyway, I think that is enough talking for tonight. I will be around tomorrow night. Tomorrow night will probably be gaming, and should I drink? I probably will do some drinking bingo, but it will not be straight shots. Anybody tries to tell me otherwise, you're a liar, and it will not happen. But I will be around probably a little bit earlier tomorrow, and maybe even during the day. So for my friends who are working, I will keep you company. I will be with you in spirit. I won't be there physically to help, but you're more than capable. You can do it. I'll be there to give you some support. But I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.